So what's the grind, operators? In today's video, we're going to take a look at the 1st Special Forces Operation or Detachment, Delta, or just basically Delta Force. Let's get it.
Keep your hands off my PBR.
So the 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta, 1st SFODD, commonly referred to as Delta Force Combat Applications Group, or just CAG, the unit, or within JSOC, Task Force Green. This is a Special Operations Force, the United States Army, under operational control of before stated Joint Special Operations Command, or just JSOC. The unit's mission primarily involved counterterrorism, hostage rescue, direct action, and let's just sprinkle it with a little special reconnaissance, often against high-value targets. Delta Force and its Navy and Air Force counterparts, also known as DevGRU, and the 24th Special Tactics Squadron are among the U.S. military's Tier 1 Special Missions units tasked with performing the most complex, classified, and dangerous missions directed by the National Command Authority. Most Delta operators are selected from the United States Army Special Operations Command Elite. Green Berets are, Special Forces groups, and my boys over in the 75th Ranger Regiment. Let's go, Rangers lead the way, as well as from other Special Operations and Conventional Forces from the Army, and even sometimes other military branches. Delta Force was established on 19 November 1977, year of our Lord, by Beckwith and Colonel Thomas Henry. In the meantime, Colonel Bob Black Gloves Montel of the 5th Special Forces Group created a unit to breach the short-term gap that existed until Delta was ready, dubbed Blue Light. Now, you guys that don't know about Blue Light, that was actually the original Delta Force. That was the men that we refer to as Delta Force today was actually Blue Light, which, again, as stated, was like, to breach the gap until the actual Delta Force, had boots on ground and ready to fucking rock, right? So just remember that, because we might have something coming up on that little unit they call the Blue Light. The initial members of the unit were screened from volunteers and put through a specialized selection process in early 1978, year of our Lord, involving a series of land navigation problems in mountainous terrain while carrying increasing weight, right? So the first time they go out, let's say, you throw on a 50-pound ruck. Then from there, the weight just increases until, you're humping about 130 pounds on your freaking back and your freaking ruck, right? Let's not forget that that weight does not include water weight, which is essential to survival in a special operations community or atmosphere, if you will. And, when they say throw your rucks up, usually they don't tell you to throw your rucks up on the triple beam, right, and your water supply. It's usually just your gear that go up on them triple beam scales. Or, if you go to a physical and they take your weight, okay, that's the scale I'm referring to, and that's the scale, and take it from me, that you throw your rucksack on, and the cadre will indeed check your weight before every training ruck. I will tell you this, that's real talk, because I've been there. So tracking on, this all basically had a purpose, and that was to test the candidate's endurance, stamina, willingness to endure, and mental resolve. Meaning, if you're going to be a cupcake and you can't suck it up, in training, how can we put you out there in real time? The first training course lasted from April to September 1978. Delta Force was certified as fully mission capable in the fall of 1979, right before the Iran hostage crisis. The unit is under the organization of the U.S. Army Special Operations Command, but is controlled by the Joint Special Operations Command, as stated, JSOC. Virtually all information about the unit is highly classified, and details about specific missions or operations generally are not available to the public. The unit is headquartered at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, with all the rest of the long dong hitters down at Bragg. Delta Force's structure is similar to that of the British 22nd SAS Regiment, which inspired Delta's formation. Delta at the time, nearly 1,000 soldiers strong, of whom about 250 to 300 are trained to conduct direct action and hostage rescue operations. The rest of the combat support and service support personnel who are among the very best of their field. So basically, you have Delta out of 1,000 soldiers, of whom about 250 to 300 are actually the trigger pullers, right? The rest of them are, again, as stated, the best of the best of the best as far as service support personnel. So in Delta, primarily the following operational squadrons are pretty much active, right? You got Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta squadrons, or Sabre squadrons, are also known as just the assault squadrons, right? Just the assault squadron. Charles Squadron was activated in 1990, and Delta Squadron, not to get that confused with Delta Force, Delta Squadron was activated in 2006. Combat Support Squadron was activated in 2005, and then of course Echo Squadron was activated in 1989 and is stationed separately in Virginia. Again, Echo Squadron is more aviation. Within each squadron, there are 3 troops, 2 assault troops for direct action, and a reconnaissance or recon and surveillance troop for penetrating enemy lines unseen, watching enemy positions, and sniping. Each squadron is commanded by a lieutenant colonel, an 05 if you will, and troops led by 04s, which is your major class. But we all know who really has command of these units, right? It's a well-known fact. Non-commissioned officers, baby. That's who keeps the shit together. Each troop has 4 teams, each one led by a team leader. A master sergeant, or NCO, E8, or a sergeant first class, E7, and an assistant team leader who can also have the same rank. So, you want to get into the recruitment. Since the 90s, the Army has posted recruitment notices for the first SFODD, basically Delta Force. The Army, however, has never released an official fact sheet for this elite force. And, you know, you got to understand why, because it's very, very hush up. I actually tried out for Delta Force. I was in, like, the top 10% pretty much in anything physical, but I have no idea. I got my walking papers, and I really could not tell you why. I thought I was doing pretty well there. But again, you know, they look for a certain something within the operators. If I had decided to stay in the military and actually retire from the military, I'm quite sure that I would have tried out for the Deltas again. Basically, whenever a notice comes out for recruitment, it states that applicants must be male. Yeah, must be male, so I don't want to hear all that bullshit in the comments from you fucking BGs thinking that you can carry a 200-pound ruck and get into combat, right? I just don't want to hear it because, look, some things, right, some things, the Y chromosome is better than the X chromosome, and that's just the way God made it, man. I don't know why. I have no clue, but I know that I don't want some female rucking 200 and having my back. Also, they need to have at least 2.5 years of service remaining in their enlistment, be 21 years or older, and score high enough on the basic ASVAB, the Armed Service Vocational Aptitude Battery, to attend a briefing just to be considered for admission. Candidates must be airborne qualified or volunteered for airborne training. So basically, if you get into recruitment, you don't got to have your jump rings, but you will definitely be getting your jump rings and then some. We're talking Halo, Hey-Ho. We're talking all the high-speed shit, right? Officer candidates need to be 03 or 04, which is Captain Major. All candidates must be eligible for a security clearance level of secret and have not been convicted by court-martial or have disciplinary action noted in their official military personnel file under the provisions of Article 15 of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Now, I don't know about you boys, but yeah, your boy Matrix got a couple of them fucking Article 15s, and I don't mean an AR-15. I mean a fucking Article 15. Of course, never really got anything above a summary. It was basically a slap on the wrist and basically a lot of fucking buffing in the goddamn garrison, if you know what I'm saying, on extra duty. So once you get past, you know, you hear that they're recruiting and you want to go out for selection, well, that's the next process. Selection is held twice a year, March to April and September to October at Camp Dawson in West Virginia. and last around 4 weeks. So basically, the selection course began with standard tests including push-ups, sit-ups, and a 2-mile run, 3.2-kilometer run, an inverted crawl, and 110-yard, basically 330 feet or 100-meter swim, fully dressed. The candidates are then put through a series of land nav courses to include an 18-mile or 29-kilometer all-night land nav course with carrying a 40-pound, 18-kilogram rucksack. Trust me, it definitely goes a little higher than the 40-pounder, right? Usually you're going to carry anywhere from 60 to 65, and that doesn't include water weight, again, as stated. That's very important to remember. Very important to remember. So when you're at home and you're throwing your rucksack on because you think you can be one of these long dong hitters, basically, when you throw your rucksack on your scale, hey, don't include the water weight, right? Keep your canteens and stuff to the side because of the simple fact that that is not included in your weigh-in. Water weight is not included, at least when I fucking went through, right? The mental portion of the testing began with numerous psychology exams, right? The men then went in front of a board of Delta instructors, unit psychologists, and the Delta commander, who each asked the candidate a barrage of questions and then dissect every response and mannerisms of the candidate to exhaust the candidate thoroughly mentally, right? I always tell you guys, when you go through, RIP, RASP, well, it's RIP in my day, RASP these days, SF candidacy, anytime you go through that, boys, I'm telling you, it's all mental. If you have your mental game on A, because they're going to bust you down mentally. They're going to try, right? They will definitely bust your ass down physically, but mentally, they're going to try to break you mentally. And that's one of the hardest things about any of these candidacy programs, is your mental state of being. Your mental state of being, right? The unit commander then approaches the candidate and tells him if he has been selected. He doesn't tell him or her, he tells him if he has been selected. If an individual is selected for Delta, he undergoes an intense 6-month operator training course, also known as the OTC, to learn counter-tangoism and counterintelligence techniques in which the individual maintains little contact with friends and family for the duration. Training includes firearm action and various of other weapons training. I want to tell all you guys, I just want to really let this sink in for a minute. When you go into candidacy program, right, my mental attitude in RIP, when I went through candidacy for SF, when I went through candidacy for Delta, my mental outlook, fuck the civilian world, right? And I know that NCOs and such, we're not supposed to put this out there, but it pays to be single in one of these freaking, high-speed ass units. You got to be single. You can't have, worries of your wife, the kids, your parents, right? You just clip it all off for 6 months. 6 months of your fucking life, man. And just give it all you got to the specific pipeline or candidacy school that you're trying out for, right? You got to leave everything else outside your fucking brain hole, right? Just leave it out there. An operator from the 5th Special Forces group I was talking to when I was in regiment, basically I asked him, hey man, what does it really take to get into the groups? And basically he told me, be physically, mentally prepared. But he straight up told me, be single at the time of candidacy. So basically, I'm not saying that they won't take you if you're married, because obviously that's bullshit, right? But I am telling you, you got a better chance, at least in this operator's opinion, that you got a better chance of making the fucking teams if you're single than if you're married. And I'm talking initially. I'm not talking afterwards. You can get married, this, that, or another, right? But I'm just saying that the mental portion of the testing is just extreme, right? It's more extreme than the physical, which I know you're thinking, wow, that physical, I got to ruck up. I got to run. I got to do push-ups. I got to be ready physically. But to be honest, mentally, that's where you need to be, right? That's where you need to be. So in closing, Delta Force, basically founded 19 November 1977, approximately 43 years ago, approximately, right? Country, of course, United States, branch, United States Army. Type, Special Operations Force, Special Missions Unit. Role, Covert Op, Counter-Terrorist, Hostage Rescue, Direct Action, Deep Reconnaissance, Unconventional Warfare, Intelligence Gathering, High-Value Targets, Counter-Narcotic Operations, Close Protection. The size of this unit, well, my friends, that is classified. Part of, as stated many times, Joint Special Operations Command, U.S. Army Special Operations Command, U.S. Special Operations Command. Garrison, of course, the Bragg, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Nicknames, the Unit, D-Boys, and the Ghost. Engagements, Operation Eagle Claw, Operation Urgent Fury, Operation Just Cause, Persian Gulf War, Colombian Drug War, Somali Civil War, Operation Upheld Democracy, Global War on Tangoism, Operation Enduring Freedom, Battle of Tora Bora, Insurgency in Jammu in Kashmir, Iraqi War, Operation Juniper Shield, Operation Inherent Resolve, 2012, in the Benghazi attack, the Mexican drug war. To this day, we have operators down south running around trying to get the cartel under control, right? I want to remind everybody, there is no 18 X-ray contract. There is no option 40 for Delta. But one thing's for sure, you better be tracking that pipeline if you even want to smell the testicles of a Delta operator. With that being said, operators on your feet, let's get tracking down range on this uniform. So take a seat, operators. Before we get on with today's uniform, just want to say I appreciate you all, and I really do hope that you enjoyed today's history. I know it's been a while on the history of builds. Also, with that being said, we might actually have to start posting the history and then the build in separate videos back to back, both in the same day, tracking only because YouTube, more times than not, will not monetize my histories. I don't know. Just wanted to bring you up to speed with kind of what's going on as we delve back in to the history and builds. I feel like I'm really in my element when I do these, right? So with that being said, let's just get on down with the CAG build today. Don't go by what I'm wearing right now, because you know Matrix got some stuff up his sleeves, and what you see at the beginning of the build might not necessarily be what we end up with at the end of the build. Let's try. So we'll go ahead and hit that start button. Hey, not the select or the back button, right? The start button, and let's start out with weapons, of course. Why wouldn't we? And never mind the weapon level here. I'm just, that's a game mode. I got it in right now just to establish and get a few more skull credits. And if you need help with Scully credits, go ahead, check out the video that should be popping in the description right now, and you can make unlimited amounts of skull credits with the method I'm tracking, right? So again, today, M4A1 as a primary, of course. And again, I'm not really playing a whole lot with two weapons slung. However, for the build, why the hell not, right? So we're going to go with the M4A1, and I mean, why wouldn't we? Now, I will be honest, I was not going to equip the M4A1 and show you the loadout, because this is absolutely hands down the best weapon and loadout to this weapon in the freaking game today. Bar none of these weapons, this is the best weapon and loadout. And I was going to put a video out on it, but right now, I guess you can consider yourself getting a sneak peek on it, right? So the way we're going to do it, I'll go down with the parts and then I'll go down with the paint scheme, right? So today, M4 short barrel, of course. The ACR extended magazine, of course. The Alpha Sierra Romeo standard muzzle, that's what we're going to be going with, the standard muzzle. That way we can clip our suppressor on and get that shot tight group as well. Go ahead, put the PEC 15, go ahead and throw that on the rail, and then of course the ACOM. That's what we're working with today. Let's go ahead and break into the paint scheme. So for paints, basically as you can see it here, color preset, of course, we're going with black. The barrel, we're going to go ahead and dress that out in the multicam black. I think that gives it a certain look that I like. Magazine, of course, black. Muzzle, let's go ahead and put that, and this is going to shock a lot of you guys, we're going to put that in the ATAC in the X-ray. Rail, we're going to keep it in the black. Scope, the ACOG, we're definitely going to keep that in the black as well. The stock, go ahead and throw that bad boy in the ATEX in the X-ray. And the underbarrel, the old broomstick handle, we're going to go ahead and put that in the MC black as well. And that, my friends, is what you're going to be freaking rolling out with today, and I've just got to admit, now the stock and the barrel you can actually put in multicam if you'd wish, kind of meshes with the uniform, the blouse and pants that we're going to be wearing today, as well as the vest, right? However, I kind of like the look of this bad boy here with the ATEX on it, right? And with that being said, that is going to be our primary weapon today, the one and only M4. Preferred weapon of every freaking Talibani out there, right? I mean, let's track and let's be real. They now have the M4 in their kit thanks to Let's Go Brandon. So the secondary today, we're going to go with the M110. Not only is it, to me, one of the best DMRs, however, I actually like another DMR in this game just as well. I think it serves it just as well. However, we're going to stick what they would actually be carrying, which would be the M110. Let's go ahead and break this bad boy down for you. So again, we're kind of learning as we go as far as how to throw these builds out, right? Because I'll admit, I am not the best at navigating this very confusing, might I add, UI, thanks to Ubisoft. And, you know, all the great software engineers that they have, right? This UI, or this menu, is one of the most confusing, if not the most confusing, that I've ever worked with in any video game ever. So let's track. Barrel, we're going to go with the standard barrel, right? I don't mind if you go with a short barrel. Actually, you could carry this as your primary and the short barrel, throw the short barrel on it instead of the standard barrel, and then you can carry your MK as your secondary. I'm not hating it if you want to go for the freaking MK48 as your secondary and throw this on your primary. Magazine, obviously we're going to throw it in the standard. I mean, we really don't need a small mag, right? Peace through superior firepower, I say. I wish they had an extendo for this bad boy. Anyway, throw it in the standard magazine. The suppressor, we will equip. I'm not hating you, though, if you have any of the brake or the hider or anything open, but I'm going with the suppressor, especially, and let me tell you this, to me, preferred Panther class, because when you do have the suppressor on, tracking, it doesn't take away from your damage if you have the Panther class. So go ahead, put that bad boy in the DMR suppressor. However, if you have the flash hider, the muzzle brake, go ahead and throw one of them bad boys on, because after all, our M4 is suppressed. Again, that M4 is the best build and the best weapon on this game, in this operator's opinion. Again, we'll go ahead, put the PEC on as the rangefinder, right? I'm not going to hate you, though, if you want to go with the 3-dot or even the actual rangefinder, right? However, I'm just going to keep it in the PEC and be done with it. So the scope, I know my boy Ruble likes the scope that it comes with, which is the dual range sight. Me, myself, I use this as more of like a sniper. If you do put it in the primary, however, if you do put this in the primary slot and throw your MK48 in your secondary slot, I would definitely use this sight. But I know our boy, Sergeant Ruble, he loves this dual range sight. However, if you do have it in the secondary, I would actually recommend that you put it in the T5XI sight. Tracking, and that's going to be it for today. Let's go ahead and track on the paint scheme. So the paints, again, barrel, go ahead, throw that bad boy in the MC black. Of course, color preset black. MC black on the underbarrel. Magazine, go ahead, throw that bad boy in the MC black. Muzzle, again, MC black. Rail, MC black. Scope, let's keep it in the black. I don't know why that says MC black. Guess it's just one of those things in this game. It seems like a lot of them just, I don't know what's going on with this game sometimes. It just seems like sometimes this little mouse cursor, I wish it was D-pad to be honest. Sometimes this mouse cursor will just float for no freaking reason at all. And look, yeah, that looks black with whatever's going on with that. I mean, I know I'm Matrix, but come on, let's go. So equip that in the black. The stock, we're going to go ahead and put that in the MC black, even though it looks like it's just black right now. So who the hell knows? Half the time I'm in the field and the whole rifle's OD green, and it's not one that I picked up. Like the thing that we're in here freaking putting a paint scheme on is completely OD green sometimes when I drop it in the field. And it you know, Yubi, just get it together. Get it together for us, please. Just get it together for us. It's bad enough you didn't give us another Ghost game. It's bad enough that you're ruining the series of Tom Clancy. Ever since you bought the license, you have driven this game into the ground. And I got to give you respect for trying to come back on this game with it. However, or on this, whatever you guys did, this new Motherland DLC, which is basically a reskin. But little things, little quirks, you know, come on. How long has Breakpoint been out? Like the base meta. So, with that being said, go ahead. I guess throw the underbarrel and MC Black, actually. So, let's go ahead. I'm so confused right now with what's going on here. And throw the stock in the MC Black. The underbarrel, the old broomstick, we're going to go ahead and put that in the black as well. Yeah, I swear to God, I had all these presets preset, and then I come back in here and it's just blown the fuck out. So thanks, Yubi, good job. Especially, you know, this black here, it looks like my volume, instead of the equalizer bars being up on my profile pic, which it's usually where it's at, now all of a sudden it's in the black of the paint scheme. So again, man, great job, UV. So, again, let's go. Underbarrel black, stock multicam black, scope black, rail, go ahead, put that in the black, muzzle black, magazine black, barrel, we'll go ahead and throw that in the black, and then, of course, the preset on the black. And that's going to do it for today's secondary, even though it's probably going to be OD green when we drop in, and then you'll probably lose all of your presets eventually anyway. Pistola, why wouldn't we? We're going to go ahead and be carrying the SIG 227. We'll go ahead and break that down as well. If you have the extended, you can go ahead and throw it on. I really do like how they have the Pinky Buster right at the bottom of the extended mag. That's pretty damn good. I need to go and buy this and equip it. If you do have it open, go ahead and equip it. If not, obviously, just go with the standard barrel. The muzzle, we're going to again go with the suppressor. If you have any of these open, it is fine. You are cleared green to equip any of these muzzles you would like. I'm going to keep it in suppressor though. And then we're going to go ahead and throw the first laser sight on it, or you can keep it clean, up to you. I wish I had the 3 dot open. I'd go ahead and put that on. So if you have that open, which, you know, as we get into story mode and unlocking all these gadgets and such, the ones that I can buy, like this one, obviously I can't buy in the shop, so you'll have to unlock this. I would definitely equip this. However, if you don't have it, go ahead and keep it clean with the rail cover, or go ahead and put the HDG laser on it. Tracking, and while we're here, we might as well upgrade all of our points here, because the 227, without a doubt, it's what I carry today. However, you know, the commander is always going to be my nightstand tracking. So we'll go straight to paint now. Barrel, we're going to go gray. Magazine black. Muzzle gray. Rail black. Scope black. And basically the stock whatnot black. Underbarrel black. I really don't think you can change many of these. However, this is what you want it on, right? And there you go. The 227 is, you know, pretty much preferred weapon is the SIG. Sidearm of most special operations units these days. I'm not saying all before you go hit the comments and Google shit. I'm not saying all, but most preferred the SIG, whether 226 or 227. Tracking. Optical camo, I mean, it's whatever. I don't really ever use it. Let's go to the wheel now, right? So what I have equipped, I have the flashbang, but of course, you can switch that out with just about anything. It's either the flashbang or the EMP grenade, depending on, obviously, mission is what you'll equip in your wheel. Of course, you know me. I like the boom boom. We're going to go rocket launcher, frag grenade, and then, of course, the breach torch, because you never know. And then, of course, you need your binos for a little fucking rest, a little bit of fucking recon, and then, obviously, your EpiPen. That's what we're going to be carrying on the wheel. Let's go ahead and double tap the RB, get over here, one click the right trigger, and let's go ahead and get into it here. So the lid today, really there's only one choice, and we're going to be going with the Ops Core Fast Helmet because, I mean, why wouldn't we? That's what they fucking wear. And then edit color, go to multicam. You can put it in the black, however, yeah, that looks like solid black to me. What about you guys? You can put it in the Matrix black if you want, but seriously, just keep it in the multicam. Again, this is for, you know, basically the field vibe, right? If we were going urban, if we were going, you know, banging doors and snatching people in the middle of the night, obviously we'd put it on the solid black. However, for this build today, we're going to put it in multicam. So one other thing I wanted to mention, you know, everybody thinks that Delta's in jeans and, you know, a flannel shirt and, you know, backwards baseball cap. You know, there are. I would compare it to, most people think, oh, Delta operators and, you know, basically just SEALs and the special operations community, they all fucking wear beards. You know, it's not like that, okay? It's preferred. I really don't like wearing a fucking beard. I like to be clean shaven. I think it adds to the hygiene. That's just my preference. That's my preference, that I don't have like a hitter beard going on, right? But you are authorized, but we'll get to that. But I just want to say that Delta operators aren't out there freaking on operations wearing jeans and a polo shirt with a backwards hat. I mean, let's fucking be real. I try to keep it real, so let's just be real. But with that being said, I honestly might do several builds under the scope of Delta, SEAL, you know, this, that, or another. But again, for the best today. Now, another thing that I love about Ubi, you see the cross draw? Yeah, when you go in the field, it stays empty. Like, at least put a freaking pistol in it, right? Now, if you do have it unlocked, the Cry ABS loadout on it. Now, this is Ghost Points. This is buy, right? Microtransaction. So, you know, if you don't have this, though, forget about the first one we had on. Put the light carrier on. Put the light carrier on and put that in the multicam. Whatever vest that you feel that you want to equip, as long as it's not freaking Hollywood, right? I really do like this freaking vest here, and make sure you put it in the multicam, whichever vest you put on, right? Gloves, really there's only one choice, the Oakleys, right? And you'll go ahead and throw those in the multicam as well. Pants, again, keeping it real with you, I'm always, you know, you guys, I'm always going to give you an option that's not a microtransaction, and this is it, the 511 Apex pants with the knee pads. That's what she said. Make sure you throw those in the multicam. A couple of other options you can go with are the Nomads, the multicam Nomads. Just keep them in the multicam. Look at that. That's interesting. One knee pad. All right, Nomad. Good job. I guess that's the knee goes down, you know, to get a sight picture. Hell, I don't know. I mean, Lord forbid he goes down on his left knee. Man, that's about the most retarded shit I've seen in a minute. I've never seen an operator with one fucking knee pad. I guess that's all them SEAL team boys they got up in their fucking executive suites up at Ubisoft, right? So you can go with that. You can also go with the Cry G3 with the knee pads. That's preferred. And then, of course, you got the Cry G4, which, again, is microtransaction. Go ahead, edit the color, multicam. Again, whatever bottoms you put on, make sure that you put the multicam on, right? Dress them out in the multicam. Very important. Fits the build. Now, here's what I think's kind of nuts, right? So, if we open the list and say we pick any other one, right? And then we put them, let's say we go with the Cry. We edit the color, right? We go down to multicam, which are already in. But dig this, right? Okay, as soon as you hit the back button or equip, it goes straight back to the damn menu. Like, why can't we just stay in one menu? Again, all them brains just overflowing at Ubisoft. Now, the boots today, now, I'll be honest with you. I was looking around, and to be honest, and you know what, guys? I guess it's just because I'm Matrix, you know, that you know, Ubisoft was like, hey, man, let's do this the Matrix account. So, hey, cool, man. But you know what? I'd rather have shit the way it's supposed to be, the way the code's written, which, you know, that's supposed to be the equalizer up here. Anyway, tracking on. if you have them unlocked, which everyone should because it's free, go ahead and go with the UA Speed Freak boots. Why? Because they kind of look, to me, they remind me the most of like the Quest 4D GTX or the Zephyr GTX High TF, right? And that's, I mean, I'll just put it this way. The operators that I'm friends with in IRL, they love the GTX series. So, I'm just saying, the Speed Freaks, you want to go ahead and dress those out in the tan. So next, to me, there's really only one option here, and that's the Safariland Liberators, right? Make sure you throw those in the black, the Safariland. Go with it. Now, one thing that I do want to say, that if you don't have the Safariland open, you can go with the Ops Core, right? Just make sure that you throw them in the solid black, right? So the Safarilands, I really do like. There's plenty of space when you're wearing freaking assault gloves where you're not fumbling around with the buttons, right? They're clear, they're marked. They got the space where you're not, trying to go up a channel and you accidentally go up 2 channels or 1 channel. That's why I really prefer the Safariland when I was operational, as well as when I'm messing around now, right? So, Safariland in the black. Glasses, we got a couple you can choose from. I really like the Centennials, only really because of the yellow glint. I like the amber tone of the lenses. I really do enjoy that. However, you can also go with the ACH, the downward curve. You can go ahead and equip those. I really do like these Oakley Jawbreakers. I like them a lot. The ACH got, I mean, not really. I mean, that's Future Soldier. I guess you could do it. It looks really freaking awesome and cool, but just not with this build. Go the Centennial goggles. Go with the Oakley Jawbreakers or the Pulse glasses, which, look like a real pair of the Oakleys that a lot of my friends wear, both in law enforcement and operational in the field in the military, right? So tracking that, either one you equip, make sure it's in the black. Backpack, rucksacks, sacks, right? So today, I'll be honest, I'm just going to keep a hydration pack on. That's all I'm going to do. Make sure that you put that in the multicam as well. I'll have some builds coming out, I promise, on the Delta. Again, 20 likes on this video today, and I'll get busy with another history and build. However, I do plan on putting a couple of Delta builds out in the next, couple of weeks, just messing around with the different fits and the different schemes, right? And again, speaking of the best here, I really do like this vest. However, you can put the microtransaction on this vest as well. So go ahead, put your hydration pack on or the 3-day assault. I do like the Black Hawk Crane with tarp. I really do like this one. I'm tracking real hard on it. So if you don't just want the hydration pack, go ahead and go with the Black Hawk. If you're an RTO, go ahead, throw the fix-it pack on. But whatever you equip, make sure you got it in the multicam. Tracking top. Today, we're going to go ahead and equip it in the Cry freaking blouse, right? This is a microtransaction, but to me, it's what they wear, and I can't believe Ubisoft did not give us a Cry G4 without making us pull out the wallet, put another microtransaction is. Anyways, I don't buy the bundles. I see something I like, and I'll buy that specific item, just like this Cry G4 combat shirt, right? Again, I just can't believe that they didn't give us a Cry G4. I believe they gave us the Cry G3, but I could be actually mistaken on that. Actually, I don't even think they gave us a Cry top. I got to be honest with you. But Matrix, I'm at least always looking out for you. So go ahead, do the mission where you get the Scott Mitchell top. It's all in the multicam. Of course, it's not Cry, but you do got the cool American flag right there, which, your patch will go up under it. Tracking. If not that, then I know you guys are going to be like, what? The Bodoc shirt? Yeah, the Bodoc. Or the Bodark shirt. Go ahead, equip that in the multicam. I also really am liking how that looks as well. You got a little freaking elbow padding. You got some padding up by the shoulder. I actually like this quite a bit, right? So go ahead, if you don't have the cash, just to sink into any gear. You know your boy Matrix got your back. You know I got your back, right? Yeah, put it in the Bodart coat, the Scott Mitchell, or if you got some cash and you want to break it out, go ahead and insert, that's what she said, the Cry G4 Combat shirt, right? Make sure you throw that in the multicam. Face mask there, you know, I ain't gonna hate you. As usual, if you want to go ahead and put the old bago on, or you want to cover your face, you know, because you're an assassin. Me, myself, I'm just going to put the Scarf B on. We're going to throw that in OD green, because let's face it, I want him to see the gringo that sends him to hell and the 40 Burgess. Hey, tracking, Scarf B, I'm going to go ahead, throw that, obviously, in the OD green. Patches today. Now, look, guys, I ain't hating you. We got a couple, you know, they got away with the old Romeo 9 last world, my peeps. So, today, put your country flag on it if you want. I ain't hating you. Throw that American flag, especially if you can get it in subdued. Now, sometimes when I go out with my boys in the Matrix Ops, Discord link in the description, you can go ahead and go out with us sometime. Just be in the right frame of mind, yeah? Because we don't fuck around when we go out, right? We stay tactical, if you know what I mean. I'll go ahead and throw the commander patch, but for all you that are not of the commander type, you can either put your country flag on there, or, you know, just go ahead, throw your blood type on it, right? Another patch that we really like in the ops is the St. Michael. So, whichever one you decide on, St. Michael, O positive, whatever you want to do, your blood type, not necessarily O positive, but your blood type, or the subdued, your country's flag, right? However, for the ops, if you want to run it like Matrix, somebody sees you out there in the field, in multiplayer, and you're rocking the St. Michael, hey, they might say, hey, dude, is that a MatrixNative build? And you say, fuck yeah, it is. But again, as stated, we're going to go ahead and just throw a blood type on. Now, one thing I do want to show you, this vest here, I got to admit that they did a pretty good job, although when you slap leather, right, the freaking pistol stays in your shoulder rig, right? Which is, I don't know about it. You know what I mean? I want you guys to take a look at this. How ridiculous is that? I mean, what is that? That must be a fucking, like, Desert Eagle. Takes up my man's chest and abdomen. I mean, come on, Yubi. Get your scales right. Just like the potted plant in Ghost Recon Wildlands. You know, the potted plant lid. You operators that have been around for a minute, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. I do not understand. I don't, like, I've done modding, right? I've done a lot of modding in my lifetime. And I just can't believe the freaking scale that they gave some of these holsters, weapons, accessories, right? It's unbelievable to me. I mean, how can somebody look at that and be like, yeah, we're ready for launch? Like, how can somebody do that, Yubi? Just explain it to me. Email, MatrixNative@gmail.com. Also take some free gear if you're canning it out. But I'm never, ever, ever not going to be honest with my audience. And to me, that is straight up pogue stick shit right there. All I'm saying. Look at the size of that. And not only that, let's throw a Cry ABS, again, micro transition, or micro transaction, my bad. And let's take a look. Okay. That O positive, that looks scaled out in the vest, don't you think? 511 tack. Yeah, that looks pretty scaled out, and that's something that you can also freaking equip is any of the 511 gear, right? Or the Cry JPC, to be honest, the Cry ABS. Just make sure that whatever you put it in, out of the Cries or the 511s or the Cry ABS, that you put it in multicam. But look at the fucking size of that patch. Look at the size of that patch, right? And you're like, well, Matrix, you know, maybe it's just the patch, you know? And to that, all I have to say is really, Yubi, that patch is as big as the fucking plate carrier, man. Come on, Yubi. How can you look at that and be like, oh yeah, that looks good. That looks to scale, actually. Come on, Yubi. In fact, when I put the Op St. Michael on there, because, you know, that's just a badass patch. It looks like a fucking, you know, your Halo fucking badge a little bit, you know, and it's just a badass patch. But Oh my God. Look at the size of it, boy.
That's what she
Look
said.
at the size of it. I will give Yubi credit where it deserves. And I got to tell you, this vest looks pretty BA. Too bad we got to buy it. I understand you got to make your money too. But hey, man, making people buy something as standard issue in the military as a cry blouse, that's just ridiculous to me. Just ridiculous. MVGs, you can wear them if you want. You can wear them if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. But if friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. Hey, let's go. Hey, how about a like just for that? For me breaking into that, giving you a little of my vocal skills. Hey! So with that being said, I do like the panoramics. I think, I got to be honest, they almost look a better scale than they had going on over in the Ghost. However, I would go with the model 2740 if you're going to go ahead and equip MVJs. If you got any kind of comments or questions on anything, you can go ahead and leave them in the comments. I try to get back to everybody because I'm a good guy like that. So serrated edge, you can go with that. But for me, I'm going to go with the old Tanto, right? Woo! Let's go, baby. For me, I'm going to go ahead and go with the ultralight TBE because it does remind me of a Tanto blade, right? So again, that is the uniform today for our CAG Delta operator. If you got any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments, guys. Hope you have an amazing day today. I hope tomorrow was amazing. I hope yesterday is amazing for you. Tell all your friends about our channel. And with that, if you hadn't, one time, snipe like, snipe the sub. It's good to be back. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because that's how we roll. Best weapon in the game, hands down, with the exact setup that I have on. You will be so violent that you will just be like, damn, Matrix really does know what the F he's talking about. Again, M10, just a beast. And I just love this sound. This is one of the best sounding weapons in the entire game. Does have a lot of kick though. You can take that vertical down or just single shot it. Catch your dudes later. Be safe out there. Keep your head down. Stay off the radar. 41 out.